What is up, my friends? Match day has finally arrived. It is Champions League quarter-final first leg action tonight. The Reds travel over to Paris to take on PSG, and we'll be live here from 6:45 to take you through the game. Could be a long night for us, but look, fingers crossed we can go over there and somehow put in a performance and get the result that will keep the leg alive for the second game at Anfield. In this video, we're going to discuss some comments from Jurgen about how he was able to keep motivating that Liverpool team. We'll be hearing who Steven Gerrard wants to come in to be the replacement for Mohamed Salah. We'll talk about a couple of transfer links as well as a shock start for one Liverpool player over in Paris tonight is on the cards. That and lots more coming up over the next few minutes, but I want to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comment section. Drop a like if you enjoy the video, but most importantly, make sure you're back here with us tonight at 6:45 for this massive game in the Red season. Right, let's start off with a bit of transfer news, and it's not great news, unfortunately, but Manchester City believe that they have won the race to sign Nottingham Forest and England midfielder Elliot Anderson. A piece in the Mirror suggests that not only will they win the race, but they'll try and get him for a fee of about £65 million, which honestly, if they can pull that off, would be, in my opinion, a bargain for a player as good as Elliot Anderson. So let me know your thoughts on that one, folks. I always did feel that that was the direction of travel on this one, as I've been saying it to you guys for a couple of months here on the channel, but according to the Mirror, they're closing in. Right, let's move on to a Liverpool target, or a potential Liverpool target. A report in Bild, or Sport Bild, over in Germany said that Liverpool have sent scouts to watch Hoffenheim star Bazumana Toure multiple times this season, the last time being at the Everton Stadium during the international break when he was playing. It is one of the top targets, they say, for the Reds to strengthen this summer, and he has a price tag of about £35 million. Now, I feel like I've said this a lot lately, my friends, but I have absolutely no idea about this guy. So do you know anything about Toure? 20 years of age, playing for Hoffenheim. Again, let me know, one, if you think he's good enough, and two, if 35 million sounds like a realistic number. Now, a potential shock start tonight for somebody over in Paris. It isn't Federico Chiesa, but it might be Rio Nyamoha. This piece here said Rio to start versus PSG, and credit anything Liverpool. I was going to say Anfield Agenda. I always want to credit Anfield Agenda. Credit us anyway. But anything Liverpool have said that, as per Sky Sports, the Liverpool team could be handed a shock Champions League start by Arne Slot, with reports saying he may replace Cody Gakpo in the starting 11. Now, Cody hasn't really played much in the last few weeks from the start, but I get where they're coming from. Would be lovely to see Rio start this game tonight. Now, last night watching made me dream about Michael Elise, and the way he just took on that Real Madrid left back over and over and over again was really a joy to watch, and it reminded me what life could be like with pacey direct wingers. Steven Gerrard, well, he feels the same. Asked would he take Michael Elise at Liverpool, he said yes, but the problem is, why would he leave Bayern? And I have to say, for the first time ever, I actually totally understand it. Bayern were brilliant last night, and they showed that they have strength and depth. They were able to bring Jamal Musiala off the bench. That team is just packed full of attacking talent, and honestly, it's going to take a lot to stop them in the Champions League this season. So, for the first time ever, I get it. They really are in a good place with good attacking footballers, with a manager playing a good style of football. I get it. Why would he leave? But we got to keep up hope, right? Just in case by some miracle Liverpool can lure him away from the Allianz over there in Munich. I would take him in a heartbeat, and so would Steven Gerrard. Right, so Arne Slot, on if he's worried that another defeat like Man City could really ramp up pressure on his shoulders, he said, I don't think as a manager you think about what can happen, and if that ramps up the pressure towards me or towards anybody else, I think we're here because I think it's similar between Man City and Paris Saint-Germain, that for me, open play, they're the most difficult teams to play against. I said today to the boys, Paris Saint-Germain, they're almost like a washing machine. I don't know what that means, but we'll try and figure it out. They just run everywhere, but controlled and knowing from each other what to do. We know that if we have 20 minutes, like we did the Etihad, this team will push us hard. But if we had like the first 35 minutes, PSG will have a hard time playing us as well. Now, this got me thinking, what utensil in the kitchen would you describe Liverpool as? Myself and Connor had a batch of this earlier on. For me, it's one of those late night spirally potato things, that you buy for spiralising vegetables on a late night shopping channel. But I want to know, what kitchen utensil would we be? If PSG are a washing machine, what would the Reds be? Let me know in the comments. Now, Jurgen, on talking about how he kept players motivated, and especially the ones who aren't playing, had this to say. Treating them completely normal. Don't forget them. A week with 3 games, it was fast. You wake up on a Monday and whoop, it's Friday, and you have a game on Wednesday. You can't remember it. And this week, you need to take time to give them all attention. You know the players who didn't start the day before, and you have this training session the next day. How is the mood there? Who's responsible for the mood? I can't stand on the sidelines and say, look, they're not in the best shape. Maybe they're angry because of yesterday, or I give them some reasons why I can be in a good mood. It's my job to help them find a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, and that it's not forever. Also on this and on his squad, Jurgen had this to say: I don't think something like that is possible in each other city. There are cities out there where it's possible because of the power we create of what is this togetherness. That is how it is. The superpower of Liverpool Football Club is the togetherness. Somehow it happened that we were really together, really strong, and we could move mountains. Now, what that made me think about was the lack of togetherness that we're feeling right now. And we've said this over and over again. If you want the best out of Liverpool on the pitch, in the stands, you've got to have that togetherness. You've got to feel like everybody's pulling in the same direction. And that's how you harness, as Jurgen said, the superpower of Anfield and of Liverpool. So let me know your thoughts on that as well. Right, Team Talk have said that Liverpool and Barcelona are among several clubs tracking Atalanta right back Marco Palestra, currently on loan at Cagliari. The 21-year-old Italian international is also being monitored by Arsenal, Manchester United and Chelsea, with interest growing across Europe ahead of the summer. Palestra could be available for about €45 million, with Liverpool actively exploring the market for a more defensively solid right-back. Now I wonder, what will happen if Alonso does come in? Will we see Liverpool still look for a right-back, or will we be happy knowing that we've got Frimpong or Bradley, even though he has injury concerns, who could play in the wing-back position? On Alonso, well, let's do a little bit of plane tracking, right? Because we haven't done this in a while. So Nicholas Bieber, if you're on X, I'm sure you're aware of Nicholas's work following Jets all around Europe and indeed the world. So Nicholas writes that Alonso's agent in Paris, a private jet flew from San Sebastian to the French capital on Monday. Since San Sebastian is the home of Alonso's agent, Iñaki Ibanez, and Paris is where Alonso and his wife have been enjoying a break. And then he said, oh, and Liverpool play there tonight. On top of that, Moby Hay quote tweeted it by saying, apparently Alonso's agent will be at PSG Stadium tonight. Interesting social media posts show Alonso and his wife in Paris over the last few days. Unsure if he's still there now. So I think we all need to keep an eye on any crowd shots that we see tonight. Will we see Alonso there? Will we see his agent there? Would Liverpool be that bold? Let's wait and see what happens. But I also want to know your feelings ahead of this one. This is the first time in a long time that I genuinely fear going into a game. Usually I have some cautious optimism, and if we do show up, anything is possible, but I'm nervous. I don't want this game to get away from us. I don't want this leg to be, or tie to be over before the second leg. So fingers crossed we can put in a decent performance, ultimately a far better performance than we did against Manchester City at the weekend, or it could be a long 90 minutes. So that is it from me for today, my friends. Well, I say for today. For now, I will be back tonight at 8:45 for the late night agenda. Quick reminder as well about our April competition. You can win a signed Charles Oliveira UFC glove completely free. Scan the QR code below or use the link in the description for further details. And again, thank you to our friends at thecollectorscorner.co.uk for supplying all the giveaway prizes right throughout 2026. One prize every month. If you'd like to treat yourself to 20% off at thecollectorscorner.co.uk, use the code there below me, Anfield Agenda 1 at checkout. Folks, I'll see you tonight. Fingers crossed for a good result. We'll get through it together. Much love. Bye-bye.